The global telecoms industry has its eyes on one of the world's biggest prizes, building Australia's national broadband network. Hoping for a big piece of the action is Chinese company Huawei, the second biggest telecom equipment provider in the world. The telco giant has launched a political and public opinion charm offensive aimed at diffusing security concerns. Here's Philip Lasker.
If it's possible to be a low-key global colossus, this Chinese company fits the bill.
Huawei is one of the biggest companies that no one knows anything about, and that's been our own fault, and we're changing that.
The second biggest provider of telecom equipment in the world already does business with Optus, Vodafone and Telstra, claiming 50% of Australians use their products, and they've built national broadband networks in Europe, Asia and the Middle East.
We're the only company globally that has the technology currently in play, tested and in the marketplace.
But US authorities have stymied numerous attempts by Huawei to buy into their telco equipment makers.
They seem to suggest they know something about Huawei which they can't tell us.
The suspicion springs from founder Ran Zhengfei's origins as a senior official of the People's Liberation Army.
We don't hide that fact at all, but to say that's our link and therefore we are, if that's the only link that people have, then I think it's quite a tenuous one.
There's an intrinsic suspicion that comes with the chief executive and founder's links with the People's Liberation Army. Another senior executive has perhaps an even more sinister link, which is to the Ministry of State Security. Now, these may be perfectly explicable, but you know, China just is not transparent, and I think they're unable to explain these links in a way which satisfies anybody.
Huawei also points out that it's a private company owned by the shareholders, its employees, not the state.
In many cases for these private companies like them in southern China, employees were given shares, but they basically gave them back to executives, so we don't know who owns them.
The Australian reported that ASIO was told the company was employing technicians with direct links to the Chinese army.
I can categorically say that it's not true.
Huawei is working both sides of politics. It sponsored a conference by the Liberal Party think tank, the Menzies Research Centre, attended by Tony Abbott. Opposition spokesman Malcolm Turnbull recently visited the company in China. But some can't see beyond the cyber espionage of Huawei's home government.
I'd be very wary when it comes to our telecommunications architecture.
There's been no communications with us about any concerns about Huawei whatsoever.
Although straight talk isn't always a feature of the heavily politicised communications industry.